Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of When You're Delusional, You're Gonna Be on TikTok. I do hope you're gonna enjoy the video, so let's just get into it.
Out of my car fast enough, which it's too late now. Where is he? Great, he's actually coming closer. He's right there.
I have this tiny annoying habit where when men annoy me, I like to find ways to make them feel really stupid and inferior and stunned. I like to call it like verbally stunning men. And when it comes to men asking me for my phone number, I have crafted my favorite verbal stun technique. I'd love to share that with you. But first, a full disclaimer that we don't owe men shit. We don't owe them politeness. We don't owe them kindness. If they're verbally harassing us for our information, we obviously don't owe them our information. But if you're like me and you like to fuck with people, but you also want to kind of diffuse the situation, this has worked flawlessly for me, okay? So a guy asked me for my phone number. Hey, can I get your number? My response, oh, I'm so sorry. I actually don't share my personal information. But if you want to share with me your name and your phone number, I might consider giving you a call. Do you have your business card with you? First of all, who carries a business card with them anymore? But having to put them in that position makes them feel really inadequate and look unemployed, even if they're not. And so they're like, I don't have a business card. And then I'll go, oh, okay, well, if you didn't come prepared, if you do want to go find a piece of paper and write your name, your full name and your phone number, I would definitely consider giving you a call sometime. But if you can't do that, that's kind of the only way I'm willing to engage here. So I'm going to go. And they're stunned into silence, just frozen in frame. Or their brain operates a little bit faster and they go and they grab a pen and paper and they write their name and their phone number down. And then I have their name and their number. Because, bitch, why do I have to give you my information? No. I'm going to collect it from you, okay? I'm going to take control of this situation. And now that I've got your phone number and your full name, I love full naming a fucker who won't leave me alone. So now Edward Thomas said, but now that I gave you my information, can I have yours? And then I look at it and I go, hey, Edward Thomas, I think we're done now. It scares the fuck out of them when you full name them. Like their mother is talking to them. Anyway, this is what I like to do. It's really fun to watch them squirm. So stun them verbally, stun them with a stun gun. However you want to do it, ladies, get at it.
Okay, so the first lady got scared while driving by a man that was walking his dog. I know it fits into the narrative that, oh, man, trash, but no. And you, first of all, you look like I should have another Jack. No one is approaching you. Maybe that's why you're mad, maybe that's why we come up with these stupid stories. Second of all, I know it's easy to live in your own reality, but whatever happens on Instagram, it's not real world. I know you get those scammers that they want to be your sugar daddy and they're gonna pay you $4,000 a month maybe, but they first want you to send them $100 for shipping something, but that's Instagram, it's not real world. Third of all, just in case some man is that slow and he's approaching you, he's only gonna get stunned by your level of IQ and he's gonna realize he made a mistake and he waits for you to finish to say bye-bye. I like that little touch at the end though when you try to put on your glasses, but even that failed to make you look smarter.
What's the most chronically online take that you saw this week? I'll go first.
A girl said she went to the doctor and she's overweight, and if the doctor asks her to weigh herself, she's just not going to do it, and she's going to tell him to educate himself through a podcast that she heard. Through a podcast that she heard. A doctor that studied probably 10, 12 years just to be able to diagnose her and to know that, weight can be a factor to diabetes and other disease. Also, to give her medication that is weight-based, but he should not be fat-phobic and educate himself through a podcast. Seriously, guys, go outside at least once every day to avoid that.
Yep, absolutely. But the thing is, we all do. We all have jobs to go to. The problem is if you're in a static position, if you work in an office 8, 12 hours a day, just make sure you give yourself a walk for 30 minutes a day. That is the least you can do and you're already gonna start to feel better. But about the lady she was talking about, I've done some searching and I was able to find her, although stitched by someone else. And I know I'm gonna make this video a bit long and boring, but just bear with me for a moment and let's see what she had to say.
If I don't want to step on the scale at the doctor's, I say, oh, I don't want to be weighed today. If I don't want to talk about my fatness at the doctor, I say, oh, I'm not here to talk about my weight. I'm here to talk about fill in the blank, whatever the issue actually is. If they refuse to test me for certain things because of my fatness, I say, I would like it noted in my chart that you are refusing to test me for X, Y, and Z. Something I've never said, but I've thought about is, oh, it's Sounds like you are not up to date on the latest research about fat bodies. I highly recommend the Maintenance Phase podcast. Not all boundary phrases work for all people or all.
And there she goes. Like the previous lady said, you're gonna educate a doctor with years and years of medical school through a podcast. Come on now. This is that whole body thingy movement taken to a whole different level. A whole stupid and unrealistic level, but still. If you go to a doctor with heart problems, those problems may be caused by the fat that surrounds your heart. And even if that's the case or not, the doctor will know better, not some podcaster. I know it's easier to listen to a podcast because it's feeding into what you want to hear, but bottom line is you may have your health put in jeopardy because you chose to listen to that podcaster and not to your doctor. Your doctor doesn't need to educate himself through a podcast just because you gave up on yourself. And it's not any type of phobia just because he's telling you what you don't want to hear.
Let's do a fun thought experiment. Let's say there's an alternate universe where women consume the most corn, and the corn that they watch, the most popular word to search is teen. So teen corn is what women want to watch. On top of that, women expect the men in this universe to shave all their body hair, even if they're 30, 40 years old. No hair is allowed. On top of that, they want all the men to be very thin and small and not take up a lot of space. And all the most beautiful considered men in this world, the most attractive, are the ones that look the most like teenagers. Okay, moving on. On top of that, in this universe, the women want the men to be really submissive and not have any authority, almost like a kid. They also love when they're just like really happy and appreciative and don't complain about anything, almost like a little kid. All right? But on top of it, no matter how much the men act like little kids and look like little kids, they still go out and cheat. Because almost like the women want to live out some sort of fantasy, but they're not ever satisfied because they can't legally have it. It would be very, very obvious to everyone what the issue would be in this universe. They'd say, oh, those women have a very specific issue. But we're also used to this specific issue that we act confused about what's going on. I'm not confused, they want to date little kids, and I'm not a little kid.
Why is it that every woman that hit the wall is now using the same shaming tactics that pretty much doesn't work? No one cares about any of that but you. Men are not attracted to kids. Those are a special category and they should be buried underneath the prison. Funny enough, it's the same idiots like yourself that are defending those men, taking away even the name we had for them and try to call them minor attracted person or something like that. But it's fine, I get it. You've been ran through for years and now no one wants you. It's fine, I would be bitter myself if that was the case. Except I wouldn't because I have an IQ over a French fry. And also, that universe that you're talking about, where exactly is it? Point me to that direction because I want to live there. I want to be there, do nothing, enjoy free stuff, get everything just because I exist, start complaining about matriarchy maybe. I want to moan and bitch and complain about everything, start a war on an entire gender just because 2000 years ago the other gender was oppressing me. I want to moan, bitch and complain about not having some rights that I was actually born with. Yeah, absolutely. That will be a perfect world. So if you do know where that universe is, point me in that direction. Or at least keep on being bitter about the passing years, about how you're gonna be single for the rest of your life, because you can't think for yourself. You can't think outside the brainwashing that was done to you. Not to mention that I give a fuck about your shaming tactics, that I'm just gonna pour myself another drink. Best part for me is that I've started doing this and we're gonna be in this process together. So 10 years from now, I'm still gonna make a video like this saying, hey grandma, told you so. Anyway, I've made this long enough. As always, I do appreciate you guys for watching. You are the greatest and don't let any of these lunatics tell you anything different. Keep your heads up, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.